Hey everyone, and welcome back to Disney with the Danhauers. I thought I'd start off with a little bit of background. So my name is Kelsey and I'm married to Matt for almost 4 years now. We have 3 children. Marley is 6, Jack will be 2 at the end of June, and Max is 8 months old. So I used to go to Disney on a monthly basis when I lived in Jacksonville, Florida. And then I moved to Nebraska in 2000 and we went on an annual basis from there on. I did the Disney College Program internship in the fall of 2010 where I worked as a cast member in merchandising in Epcot.
At the World Traveler.
At the World
Specifically.
And I have been in love with Disney for as long as I can remember.
What'd you say?
There's something nostalgic about it that I've always dreamed about sharing with my family. So Marley has been 10 times, Jack has been 5 times, and Max has already been 2 times. We just bought into the Disney Vacation Club in the beginning of December of 2019, and we have been annual pass holders for almost 3 years. Matt had no Disney experience when I met him.
0.
And now he's even bigger into Disney than I am. I feel like
I'd hardly left the state before.
Yeah.
After that first trip.
Yeah.
In May, I was hooked.
I thought that he was though, because we met online and his profile said for the first date we could build a snowman, and I thought he was talking about Frozen, so I freaked out and I messaged him because of that.
I legit just wanted somebody to build a snowman with. No. A real snowman. No.
You've never done that.
I had never heard of Frozen or watched it or anything.
I can't believe that. So when planning a Disney vacation, or any vacation for that matter, you obviously want to pick the best dates. And that, I feel like that's the #1 question I get asked when people message me, is when the best time to go to Disney is. So we thought that it would be best to go over the pros and cons over every month. Everyone has a different experience with Disney World, and sometimes it can get unexpectedly crowded, but in the end it's what you make it. So I thought that we'd start off with January. January, actually, we've gone the last 3 Januaries, and I think that we're done with January, right?
No more January. Too many tour groups.
Yeah. So a pro to January is the Festival of the Arts, and that's a new festival. I think it has been going for exactly 3 years too. The festivals with Epcot there's different booths around the World Showcase, and they have different foods and drinks to try, and then there's something like special to that festival. So with this one, it was art.
It's art-based. There's different palettes you can do. One thing I remember was they had for the kids a cookie, and they give you different colored frosting, and they could just paint their big cookie with different colored frostings, and
yeah,
like it was just neat that. And they always have a large wall, and you just go to one end of the wall and they give you a color of paint, and they go tell you to find spot whatever,
like 712s. Yeah.
7, yeah, a number, and you just go color that number, and then by the time you got a big mural by the time everybody's painted on it. Yeah, it's always fun.
Like a paint by numbers.
Yeah.
So, and then they also have like artwork for sale, and you get to meet the artist and they'll sign their work. They have like scavenger, there's all kinds of different stuff with it. The scavenger hunts around the world too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, different
scavenger
hunting.
There's a lot of stuff to do for the kids. Like Matt said, the cookie, the palette cookie, Marley loved that. And then the scavenger hunt, she talks about that all the time still. That's a pro, and it's also not very hot, so if you're not a hot weather fan, it actually can get pretty chilly.
Mm-hmm.
We always
chilly.
definitely
always get rained on in January.
Yeah, but it's also January is typically a cheaper time, which is why we always kind of snag that
Flights
as a short
cheaper,
trip. Yeah.
At least from here in the middle of Nebraska, the flights from Omaha are cheap. During January, you can always get good cheap flights. Cons
to January is it can be chilly, so that's a lack of pool time. So if you want that hot vacation feel, it's probably not the best time to go. And then also in January, the reason why we're not gonna go too often anymore in January is there's always a lot of tour groups, so it makes it it's not too crowded otherwise, I feel like, tourist wise, but there's always tour groups, so that just makes it overwhelming. Moving on to February, the Festival of the Arts is obviously a pro. That goes on the whole month of February. Yeah, it starts middle of January, goes the whole month of February. I mean, I guess the weather's a pro.
Yeah, for February is still a lot like January.
Yeah, but it can get chilly. It can get down to like 45 degrees. So the cons to February, the World Cheerleading Championship performance is then, and it is insanely busy.
Yeah, you definitely gotta look and see what events are going on because there's always something.
And the second half of February is typically pricier than other parts of the year. So March, the pros is it's spring break, so you don't have to take the kids out of school.
But everybody else in the country and the world has the same thought.
Exactly.
So it's busy.
So it's very busy, and it's typically a lot pricier. So a pro to March is mid-March, the Flower and Garden Festival starts. It's early to mid-March, probably, right after the Festival of the Arts ends. They make these beautiful topiaries that look like characters out of plants. The booths are still set up with food and drinks.
Yeah, last year they had a bunch of playgrounds set up for the kids.
Yeah, it's a very good springy type get outside.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the food that they make in the Flower and Garden Festival comes from Epcot, from the land, the ride. Moving on to April, the pros to April are Flower and Garden Festival, and it's
still going on, yeah.
Beautiful weather. It goes on through the month of April, May, and into the very early June. It's very, very nice weather. We went in April when for a baby moon when I was pregnant with Jack. And we hit a really good weekend. It wasn't busy at all.
Nice, yeah.
It was really nice, and the weather was beautiful. It might have gotten a little chilly at night.
Yeah,
in the morning.
there's nothing. I mean, you could wear shorts during the day and have a sweatshirt in your backpack. And
so the cons to that, though, it's very, very busy during the Easter break. It is, other than Christmas, it's the busiest time of year. So if you aren't into crowds, definitely don't go over Easter. And then it's also busier earlier in the month. We found that flights are pricey. Very pricey going over Easter.
Yeah, you guys find that sweet spot between spring break and Easter.
Okay, so May, the Flower and Garden Festival is still going on. The weather is great and it's not too busy because school is still in session. That's our favorite time of year to go. We're gonna try to hit up every May. We don't really have too many cons with May. Over Memorial Day weekend, it can get busy. It's not too bad because that's always when we go. If we go in May, it's usually over Memorial Day weekend into early June. But the prices, it's not too expensive and it's not too cheap. It's pretty average prices. And the end of the month can be pretty humid. It's not too bad though. No, not like July and August. Nice. Okay, we had to fix our lighting. Yep. If we could go early May, we would. It's busy with work at the beginning of May, so we can't really get away.
This time works for me is end of May, beginning of June.
That's probably another reason why we go, but that's a personal reason. Beginning of June is typically cheaper and it's not so busy because school is still in session in most states.
Weather's still nice.
The weather's beautiful still. It's like perfectly hot where you still want to get in the pool because I don't like it when it's a little too chilly that you don't feel like that vacation feel where you want to jump in the pool.
Stay in the pool.
Get a pina colada. Yeah. Cons to June, end of June it starts getting pretty hot and humid. And almost to that miserable point.
Schools are probably about out, aren't they?
Yeah, schools are out end of June, so it gets busier. It's been a really long time since I've gone at the end of June. We typically go at the beginning of June. I remember when I was little, it was a very, very, very busy time to go. But I feel like as an adult, it's tapered off since the rest of the year has gotten so busy and they don't do festivals at the end of June to about mid-August. There's no festivals. So it doesn't seem that, I feel like that's kind of pushed crowds away.
They're getting, it's just the crowd level's kind of even.
Yeah.
Most of the year. There's no huge swings in crowd levels.
Yeah, not anymore. There used to be just a very definitive time to go if you didn't want to go and it was busy. So with July, the crowd levels seem to have tapered off. That used to be a very, very busy time to go. We're going in July in 56 days.
Mask we'll find out how it is. Yeah. With the mask, no kids.
Yeah, without the kids. Over our anniversary. We're not planning on being able to do the pools or anything. So
we stand 6 feet away from you.
Perfect. Cons to July is it's incredibly hot and humid. So for us, we're also going to have to be wearing masks. So we'll see how that goes. Another con is that there's no festivals, and that's a big deal to a lot of people, especially if you do not go to Disney often or don't plan to go to Disney too often. That's kind of if you want to put your money at its best, I guess.
I mean, the festivals are cool, but they're not
everything. Yeah. So I like going at the end of May, beginning of June, because last year we went. At that time we hit the end of the Flower and Garden Festival and then it was over and the crowds really tapered off there. So with August, the pros, I feel like it's the same as July. Yeah. For us, school starts mid-August, but most people, it starts in September. So, but the pros is that it's not too busy and the Food and Wine Festival starts late August. And that's the most popular festival. And I'm pretty sure that was the first one. I don't know. Between that and Flower and Garden, Flower and Garden used to be only the flowers and the gardening stuff. They didn't have all the fun booths. So Food and Wine was special in that. And then the con to August is the same as July. It's very hot and humid. Very hot. It can get miserable. So, but we took Jack when he was a newborn into July, beginning of August.
Yeah.
And I was nursing him, and I was dying with the heat. We'll go over taking babies to Disney in another video, but it wasn't bad at all.
It was a good trip.
Moving into September, early September seems to be the cheapest time to go to Disney World. This is just looking at our Disney Vacation Club points charts. The Food and Wine Festival goes on the entire month, low crowd levels, and they decorate for fall, which the fall decorations are beautiful, and Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party is going on. It starts very late August usually.
And we went in September of 2017. That was one of our best trips.
That was. We went during a hurricane.
The hurricane was
so Irma? I think, yeah, Hurricane Irma. I think that actually helped the crowd levels.
It was a great trip. Yeah.
It was the best trip actually.
We were there a few days before the hurricane came, and we had the parks all to ourselves.
It was awesome, yeah. Even that few days after, until that Friday, the hurricane was like Sunday, Monday. Until that Friday, it was
nice.
It was amazing.
We stayed at Animal Kingdom Lodge Jumbo House. It was a perfect resort to get stuck at for 2 days.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Amazing. The cons to September is the Food and Wine Festival is very popular, so the weekends can get pretty busy with locals. And I feel like it used, because I worked there over the fall, and it used to not be busy at all. It was, oh my gosh, the perfect time of year. And I feel like since Food and Wine has gotten pretty popular, it's gotten a little bit busier. So especially towards the end of September, when you get closer to October and people want to hit up the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party.
The con could be the hurricanes, but stay at a resort where the room doors are inside.
Yeah.
They don't open to the outside, they open towards like a central hallway. Stay at those resorts.
Like if we stayed at Riverside or something, we would have been stuck in our room.
Then we would have been stuck in our room.
That would have been awful.
But yeah, Jumbo and Kidani, the doors open to the central hallway inside, so we could roam around wherever we wanted to.
Yeah, we had it good.
Nice.
So for October, the pros are the fall decorations again, and Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, and the Food and Wine Festival still going on. You can also find a good time to, if you have kids during fall break, that's a good time to go if you don't want to take them out of school, but that is definitely one of the cons. Fall break is very busy, very busy.
If it's a good time for you to go there, it's probably a good time for a lot of other people to go there at the same time. So
it depends on how you look at taking your kid out of school for a few days. And also fall break tends to be pricier for flights, at least out of Omaha. Another con would be hurricanes, but I feel like it's still pretty bad. Early November seems to be pretty cheap. Food and Wine Festival still going on, and they decorate for Christmas, which is the most magical time of year at Disney World, especially because the decorations are amazing. A lot of other people aren't celebrating Christmas in November, so it's not very important for them to go to Disney to see that. So that's a good time to go. Typically people try to go to see the Christmas stuff during December, so it might be a little bit busier. Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party starts, and the weather's beautiful. Thanksgiving weekend is very busy and expensive. I think that weekend after Thanksgiving, if you get it right, that's actually not a very popular time to go.
It went right after Thanksgiving through the first week of December would probably be prime.
Yeah, that's prime time, especially if you want to go during Christmas.
Yeah, the flights shouldn't be expensive, and crowd level should be down.
Early December is typically not very busy, and it's very affordable. The Christmas decorations are still up, and not just like with all this Christmas decorations comes a lot of other stuff they do. The different Santas in Epcot, or they go through like all the different cultures with Christmas, and like, I don't know, just a lot of magical Christmas.
They have the best Santa I've ever seen there in Magic Kingdom.
Oh, he was amazing.
He was the best Santa ever.
He was obsessed with Max though, and he would not look at the camera.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was pretty awesome. He was
Santa.
Perfect for talking to Marley.
And Jack actually took a picture with him without playing on the ground.
Yeah.
So that was good.
True. The kids are out of school is another pro to going in December if you go towards the end of December. But that would be the only pro at that time of year. Unless you want to go, like you want to be at Disney on Christmas and you love people being right next to you. From about the 22nd of December to the 2nd of January, it is absolutely crazy.
Probably a little bit, even another couple days in January. Probably that first week of January. People are still there for the New Year's and Christmas.
Yeah. You can expect to not get into the park some days, like on Christmas. On New Year's Eve, definitely.
Lots of annual passes are blocked out.
Yep. Yeah, ours are. but they hit capacity very early on New Year's Eve, especially. If that is a day that you decide to go, you definitely want to get to the park at opening.
Good luck. Yeah.
And good luck.
So I hope you found this helpful.
So we hope that you found this helpful.
That's my word. I literally just said that.
I love you. If you have any more questions about a time of year to go, you can definitely ask us in the comments below.
Yeah.
I think that we covered everything that we wanted to when it comes to picking a time.
Picking a day, yeah.
We are going to do a lot of these videos for beginners guides to Disney, and I didn't want to do like one big video because there's obviously a lot that goes into planning, and then that way if you need to reference back, you can pick and choose your video that you need to look at.
Because it's really expensive and you really want to get your money's worth.
Yeah, especially if you are not planning to go often. You definitely want to meticulously plan this. Obviously expect, like you expect on your wedding day, not everything to go to a T, but yeah, you definitely want to get your planning.
So I think next video we should maybe cover resorts, maybe where you would want to stay. It's my favorite thing to talk about.
It is. It's Matt's favorite thing to change about 50 times before we go too. So if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching our video. Make sure that you are subscribed and like this video. It would help us out a lot. We hope you have a magical day.
Bye-bye.
See ya real soon.